Over to you, Swati. Start.
Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about chapter 5 and 6, where Baba addresses the importance of self-inquiry. Before going to the detailed understanding about the importance of self-inquiry, let's see how the chapter starts. So after many days, days have passed like this with the conversations between the Rudra and Baba. So people start coming to Rudra for help. We already discussed that Rudra does channeling work for them. So Rudra does his channeling work for the day. At the end of the day, what Rudra does is he massages Baba feet during the night times, where Baba will be involved in his deep prayers during the night times. After massaging Baba feet, Rudra went on with his housework. Later, he prepared soup and chillum for Baba, and after that, they went for a walk to the beach, where Rudra asked Baba why it is so important to do self-inquiry about one's characters and one's own self. Then Baba addressed this point. Sorry for the pause. Baba answered these questions to Rudra in 3 points. The first one is one must know their strength, limitations, and weakness. And the second one is one must identify our inherent tendencies. And third one is one must start correcting the flaws. If we do self-inquiry, these 3 points gets covered. That is what Baba's explanation to Rudra. We already discussed about the strength, limitations, weakness, and inherent tendencies in our past chapters. Now, we'll be discussing about how we have to correct these flaws. Once I identified my flaw, I must start by correcting it. I must move for correcting it. For suppose, I have an issue of anger. I get triggered for very small things very easily, very often. So I myself identified that this is my problem. I'm triggering very fast. I have an anger issue. Or, or else I understood that I lie very frequently. Or else I understood that I'm going to anxiety very frequently. So how I should overcome it? For suppose if you take an example of anger, the one solution first how we must move is we must understand that when I understood that over a situation I am getting anger, the immediate thing is I should not react. I should stop. I should control my anger, and I must come out of that situation or come out of that place, and I must analyze why I am getting this anger. How should I refuse this anger? So in that similar way, I must start working on it. So this is only the way how we must work on our weakness. So once we identified our weakness, what we must do is we must not feed that weakness. Instead of feeding our weakness, what is the meaning of feeding our weakness? We are just giving responses to our mind chatter. So we should not respond to our mind chatter. Instead of giving the responses to our mind chatter, we must calm ourselves down and we must analyze the situation and we must try to come out of it. So this is what Baba explains to Rudra. So we understand once we start trying to correct our flaws, we understand that the journey is very difficult. See, we'll be having a lot of weakness within us. How they become is they become like an habit. So if I have an anger, initially I used to get anger 10 times a day. When days passed on, I may without unnoticingly increase this anger issues 20 times a day. So this keeps on increasing. So when I thought to correct myself, I find it very difficult to control myself, to control that anger. So then I realized that the path of correcting the flaws is very difficult. Even though I try to correct it once, it pops up again. So then I eventually understand that everyone is having some flaws. No one is perfect on this earth because we are here to learn some lessons to overcome some weakness. We must overcome these weaknesses, learn these lessons, and evolve spiritually. That is the motto of this earth school. So, when I understand that none is perfect here, everyone is having their flaws, and once I started trying to correct my errors, my flaws, I understand how difficult it is. Slowly, I become compassionate towards others. How I become compassionate towards others as I am having some flaws and I find it difficult to correct mine. I find how difficult it is to set them right. Similarly, the others also trying hard in their own path. So it is also difficult for them to overcome their weaknesses. So in this way, when we start working on ourselves, we also become compassionate towards others. At the same time, we also become less judgment towards others. So this is the benefit of correcting ourselves. So when we try to correct ourselves, we also become compassionate towards others. This is what is the explanation given by Baba to Rudra. And also Baba says that this journey is always one step forward and two steps backward. See, initially when we start to correct our flaws, see, I came to this meditation path to correct some of my flaws like anger, stress, anxiety, depression. So initially, during the initial days, how I felt is that by doing meditation or some practices, I felt like more peace, calm, clarity. However, after some days, what I observed is again I started observing my old habits with more intensity, like negative thinking or anger or impatience. All these characters, sorry, all these flaws are popping up within me with more intensity. So then I questioned myself, what happened to me actually? I started this meditation practice, I found the peace, and later on again I observed the inbuilt habits of mine are popping up with more intensity. This is I felt that it is like a setback. Actually, it is not a setback or a failure. These things pop up again for more deeper understanding. Once I understood them in more detail, in more depth, I start to practice I more. I continue my effort. Again, then I will land in peace after some days. So correcting our flaws is nothing but like a linear path. It is sometimes to move forward one step and to come backward two steps. So why we are coming back is that universe is creating a situation for us to understand it in more depth so that we can unroot it uh, completely. So that is what is the meaning of one step forward and two steps backward. Next. And Baba also says that also addresses the importance of knowing who we are. So once we know who we are, we already discussed in the past chapters that we are here on this earth for a purpose, that is to learn lessons, to evolve, and to move. So we are here on a purpose. We are also divine entities. We are the souls. So we are here to learn something. So once we understood who we are, we must start practicing mindfulness so that slowly we are clearing the energy within us and we are feeling the divine energy within us. And one day we will be becoming one with that divine. So our goal or else our destination is nothing but to move forward and to become one. So that is the importance of who we are actually. So in this journey, so what Baba also says that is we are all in the same boat. There is no need of comparison. We are all sitting in the same boat, but one is sitting in the front row, one is sitting in the middle row, and one is sitting in the last row. But the destination of the boat is the same place. We are all going to the same destination. That is, we must mingle with that Supreme One. So, in order to mingle with Supreme One, we must clear the weaknesses within us. That is nothing but we must clear all the low vibrational energies within us. We must fill them with the divine energies and we must mingle with the One. So, this is also point addressed by Baba to Rudra. And Also, what Baba says is that one must always work towards the light, not for name's sake. That must be a burning fire within us. That must be a true thing within us. We should not fake the practices or meditation for the sake of the society, not like that. That intention must be true from within ourselves. Then only the real progress can be seen. At the same time, Baba also says that when we are moving forward in this journey, we'll be having number of challenges. Like for suppose, see one of the person cheated our family. Like, for suppose, our family member has given 10 lakhs to that person by trusting, but he did not return. So, he's our relative. So, all the family members started to hate him and started to treat him in a wrong way. No one is forgiving them, forgiving that person. But for suppose you are in the spiritual path, you understood the purpose of the karma. Maybe that is the depth clear in this life, which we have done in the past life. So when you understood and when you start forgiving that person, the family members will not accept the behavior of you. So such type of challenges, what we must go through while moving in this path. Even though we are facing the challenges, we should not stop our journey. We must move forward. Okay, now let's move to the theme of this chapter. So the theme of the chapter 5 is remember, the real journey begins when one can't bear the darkness in their own being and soul. That is when the search for the light commences. Sailaja, if you can please put the theme of chapter 5. Yeah. So, what is the meaning of this theme? See there, what Baba said is the real journey begins when one can't bear the darkness in their own being and soul. So, what is the darkness? When one can't bear the suffering. What is the suffering? This suffering can be fears, guilt, anger, unresolved pain. So, this is nothing but the darkness. This is something, a discomfort which is unbearable. So, when we are going through such type of pain or fear or guilt or stress, a pain which is really unbearable, that is a darkness, then we start searching for the light. We start how to overcome these emotions or fears or guilt or doubts. Then we start moving towards the spiritual path. Then our real journey starts. Sailaja, do you want to add anything? Or else we'll move to the 6th chapter. Okay, let's move to the 6th chapter. What happens in the 6th chapter? Usually, Baba, we already discussed that Baba takes Rudra to an astral voyage. That is nothing but Baba and Rudra travels in soul form to many places, many villages. What usually Baba and Rudra does then? Rudra always follows whatever Baba says to him. So when Baba visited the villages, Baba used to enter all the houses and come out. What Baba used to do is he used to do the house cleansing over there in that place. At the same time, Baba used to clear the people energies and vibrations. And similarly, Rudra does whatever Baba directed him to do. So, like that, in this chapter, Rudra and Baba went to a village. They have done this cleansing and cleaning work. And again, Baba started to say how this self inquiry journey starts to Rudra. Baba said that many times when a person is doing a self inquiry, this leads to the guilt and anger. See, for suppose I want to take my personal example over here. What I want to say is most of the decisions in my family in one certain period are taken by me, which often failed and which are very wrong decisions at that time. But my family members followed them. After certain point, due to my decisions, my family has gone through many hurdles. I realized that and I felt a lot of guilt because of me. The future of my sisters has been spoiled. I felt very guilt. I started to hate myself. So Baba said the same point here. Once you start to do self-inquiry, you starts to get, you starts to feel guilt and anger, and you starts to hate yourself. Yeah, I hated myself for doing all, for taking all the wrong decisions. But my intentions are pure. I don't want to hurt my family members. But I took a decision that did not suit my family members. So I started to feel guilt. I started to worry about it. I started to hate myself. But that should not be a continued process. Yeah, in the beginning step, it sounds like hating ourselves, but that hate does not lead us to nowhere. There is no point sitting and hating ourselves. We must change. Then I realized that no, this is not the point. I must start changing myself. I must evolve spiritually. I must rise my vibrations, and these vibrations starts emitting in my life, in my family, in my home, and these energies will bring good to my family, and it will bring peace and calmness to my family members. This is how I started my spiritual journey from my personal life. So I want to take it as an example. So Baba says that most people, after doing self-inquiry, they start blaming themselves, they start feeling guilt, and they start hating, yeah, themselves. But that is the not right way. Yeah, you start hating yourself. Okay, fine. You did not like you. Then start changing. Start working towards changing of a better person. You are like a caterpillar. Start moving to a butterfly. Then I realized, yeah, what I can do to my family now. Then I realized that through meditation, I can raise the vibrations of me, and I these raised vibrations will help my family. This will change the environment of my family. So I started working to it. So what Baba says is, first learn what are the mistakes you committed. So then accept yourself, and after accepting yourself, okay, this is the thing done by you. Okay, fine, it's okay. Now start working on yourself. Start correcting on yourself and spread the light to everyone. This brings the positivity in your environment, and definitely this positivity and this light changes the life of your surrounding ones. And Baba also says that often when we try to correct ourselves, there will be low energies within us that will try to pull us down. So we should not give power to these low energies. So what are the low energies? Nothing but is our mind chatter. So what we have to do is, we should not entertain our mind chatter. We should always refuse to give responses to our mind chatter. So in this way, we can move forward. Yeah. And Baba also addresses one point which is very important. That is, when one is moving spiritually, one must always set so realistic schedules, not unrealistic schedules. For suppose, I want to take an example. A person gets anger 100 times a day. Instead of suddenly reducing that anger to zero, uh, take me as an example. I shout in my home daily minimum 20 times. It can be my family members, or it can be at my workplace. Shout on the employees, my colleagues, and on my family members. But I realized that this is my weakness. I started to work on it. All of a sudden, I can't bring that 20 times to 0%. If I started, see, till today I did it, and today night, I took a resolution that from tomorrow I should not shout at anyone. So the day began. I started facing the situations which are triggering me. I want to shout, but I thought to resist. No, today, complete day, I should keep silent. So that cannot be possible, because I cannot nullify something from 100 times directly to 0 times. If I try to do it, there will be an internal conflict, which is an unrealistic goal. So what Baba says is, always set small goals. Instead of bringing that 100 count directly to 0, try to reduce it to 90 first. Later on, from 90 to 80. So you set any goal which is realistic. At the same time, Baba says that discipline and consistency are very important for one to move forward in their life. So these are the important points Baba discussed to Rudra. And I want to move to the theme. So what is the theme is by being aware of who we are and mindful of our thoughts, words, and actions, we save ourselves from the grief and chaos caused by the futility of unaware reactions. So what is the meaning of this theme? So, by being aware of who we are, so we must understand that we are souls. We have taken birth on this earth for the purpose of learning some lessons to evolve and to grow. So, in the same case, everyone on this earth is a divine soul. Everyone are going through their lessons. So, when we understood who we are and when we are mindful of our thoughts, always we must carry the positive thoughts in our minds. At the same time, when we are always attracting to our weakness, we must try to refuse that attraction towards the lower energies, lower emotions, and we must we must also be careful about the words, how we are talking to others. Either we are addressing them politely or harshly. So instead of reacting, we must try to respond. And if you do these things, we can overcome grief and chaos. What is the meaning? What is this sentence mean is that when we are aware, we will be taking the decisions which lead us to peacefulness. At the same time, our responses will not hurt others. Therefore, it does not ruin the environment in which we are. So thank you. It's over to you, Sailaja.
We are imparting the similar knowledge to everybody. I hope everybody is also understanding the way we are trying to give it in our own and simple words. The book itself is in very simple language. If you want to go ahead and read the book is also okay. But if you want to, stay back, listen, digest one by one, and then practice it, that is more important. Because we read or we listen and then leave it. Okay. We listen to a lot of pravachanas. What do we do end of day? We don't practice anything. What use of it? Learning or listening or writing or reading. Right? We must put it into practice. And because we are here a group, we all are evolving together. So we are here to practice and put forward our challenges, try to see how can we resolve them, how can we take each other's guidance and grow together. So that is how we should progress in our spiritual journey as not as a single person, as a group and together. Okay. Thank you so much. See you again tomorrow with another new chapter, chapter 7. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you for being with us tonight. See you tomorrow.